Okay, welcome everyone. Yesterday, May 2nd, 2025. Wow, what a day for baseball. The Diamonds were definitely alive.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing.
We've gone through the scores, the highlights, all that stuff to pull out what really mattered. We're not just talking scores here.
No, we want to get into the why, what
Yeah.
made these games interesting.
Exactly. We saw some solid wins, some real nail biters, a bit of everything, really.
A real mix, yeah.
Today, we're going to focus on four games specifically. Nationals at Phillies, Blue Jays, and the Red Sox. Tigers versus Angels, and Rockies taking on the Giants.
Four great matchups to break down. Should be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, let's dive right in.
It's always fascinating, isn't it? How just one day of games can give you so many different stories.
Totally. Each one kind of shows off a different part of baseball.
Right, exactly. What makes it, so great to follow.
So let's start in Philly. Nationals beat the Phillies 4-2. Looks like a straightforward win on paper.
Well, yes and no. The score, 4-2, seems standard, but the reports really emphasize a very strong start from the Nationals pitcher.
Ah, okay. Setting the tone early.
Yeah, like controlling the game right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Keeping those Phillies hitters off balance probably didn't give them many chances to string hits together.
Uh-huh. And it wasn't just the starter, was it? The bullpen apparently came in and shut the door.
That's what it sounds like. They really locked it down in the later innings,
Mm-hmm.
which, tells you something about their pitching depth.
That's crucial, right? Having guys you can trust late in the game.
Absolutely essential.
Yeah.
You can have a great start, but if the bullpen falters, well, it doesn't mean much. So yeah, it sounds like they were solid all around on the pitching side.
And offensively, someone must have delivered.
Yep, the reports mentioned the cleanup hitter came through with the big RBIs needed to, make that pitching stand up.
The number 4 hitter doing their job.
Exactly, driving in those runs.
Okay, so for the Nats, good starting pitching, solid bullpen, and that key hit. Sounds like a winning formula.
Pretty much textbook, yeah. A solid road win.
All right, let's shift up to Boston. Blue Jays also won 4-2, but against the Red Sox. This one sounds like it was a bit more of a fight, described as tightly contested.
Yeah, different feel to this one. The Jays' offense is described as firing on all cylinders.
Oh, interesting. So not just one player.
Seems like it. More like multiple guys contributing, getting on base, moving runners, driving them in. Makes it tough for the opposing pitcher when the whole lineup is clicking.
Right. You can't just pitch around one or two big threats.
Exactly. The Red Sox, sounds like they battled, but just couldn't quite keep pace.
And there were some standout moments for Toronto.
Uh-huh. A spectacular home run from their star player is mentioned. You know how those can be.
Yeah. Changes the energy immediately.
Big time. More than just a run on the board. It's a statement. Puts pressure on the other side.
And it wasn't all offense either. Something about defense.
Yeah, a standout defensive play that apparently stopped the Red Sox from building momentum.
Ah, those hidden gems. The plays that don't always make the main highlight reel, but are just as important.
Totally. Stopping a rally, saving a run, maybe giving the pitcher a lift. Those plays win tight games.
So for the Blue Jays, it was that combination, the offense firing, but also making the key plays defensively when needed.
Sounds like it. Execution in those critical moments seems to have been the difference maker there.
Okay, complete change of pace now. Let's head out west to Anaheim. Tigers beat the Angels 10-4. Dominant, commanding. Sounds like a blowout.
Yeah, this one seems pretty clear-cut. The story here is all about the Tigers' offense just, exploding.
10 runs tells that story pretty clearly.
Right. It suggests they were just hitting everything hard, putting pressure on the Angels, pitching constantly, and scoring in multiple innings, too.
Not just one big lucky inning.
Exactly. It implies a kind of relentless attack that just wore the Angels down. Put the game away pretty early, sounds like.
And there was one specific moment that really stood out. Something big.
Oh, yeah. The Grand Slam.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's an instant game changer, isn't it? 4 runs on one swing. Huge momentum shift.
Electrified the crowd, it says. I bet. That's a deflator for the home team.
A massive one. Really tough to come back from that, mentally and on the scoreboard.
But it wasn't just hitting for Detroit, right? Their pitcher did okay, too.
Yeah, the starter apparently had a strong performance as well. Kept the Angels hitters, relatively quiet.
So a complete performance then.
It sounds like it. When your offense is booming and your starter is dealing, that's how you get those dominant 10-board type wins. The offense was definitely the headline, though. Just too much power for the Angels.
Makes sense. Okay, one more game. Back to a close one. Rockies at Giants in the Bay Area. A classic rivalry, and this sounds like it lived up to it. Rockies win 4-3.
Yeah, nail-biting finish, true battle, all those descriptions, total opposite of the Tigers game.
That's baseball for you.
Exactly. Blowouts 1 minute, edge of your seat stuff the next. Keeps you guessing.
So for Colorado here, the key word seems to be resilience. Exchange leads, tight game.
Right. And they still found a way to win it, scoring that go-ahead run in the final inning. That takes real grit, especially on the road against a rival.
Winning run in the final inning. Yeah, that's high drama.
Definitely. And sounds like they made the big plays when it counted most.
Like what specifically?
Well, the closer gets a mention. Came in and shut down the Giants when the pressure was highest. Doing his job.
Nerves of steel needed for that.
For sure. And then, of course, the hit that actually won it for them. A clutch hit is how it's described.
You can almost picture it. Bottom of the ninth, maybe? Or top of the ninth? Runner on?
Big swing.
Something like that. That moment where everything hangs in the balance. Sounds like the Rockies delivered.
So resilience, finding a way late, and making those absolutely crucial plays closer. The big hit, that's how they got it done.
Seems to be the story. A hard-fought, narrow victory built on toughness and clutch moments.
Okay, so looking back at all four, wow, just really different ways to win a baseball game on display. It really is striking, isn't it? You've got the Nationals with that strong pitching foundation. Then the Blue Jays, more about the balanced offense and those key defensive plays.
Right. Then the Tigers just overpowering with the bats.
Total offensive explosion. And finally, the Rockies showing that resilience, that ability to win those super tight ones.
Yeah, each team kind of leaned on a different strengths.
Exactly. Finding their own path to victory.
So May 2nd, 2025, just a snapshot. But it really gave us a bit of everything baseball offers.
Pitching duels. Well, maybe not quite duels, but strong pitching. Big hitting days, great defense, and those close finishes.
Yeah, the whole spectrum. And you know, these results, even just from one day, they start to shape things, don't they? Standings, maybe how teams feel heading into their next series.
For sure. Momentum is a funny thing in baseball. Wins like these can build confidence, losses can raise questions. It all feeds into the bigger picture.
It makes you think, looking at these 4 games, which one stands out most to you? Or which performance?
That's a good question. Was the Nats' control, the Jays' well-roundedness, the Tigers' sheer power, or maybe the Rockies just gutting out that win? They're all interesting in their own way.
Yeah, different flavors of victory. And I guess the bigger question then is, how do these kinds of performances, these specific outcomes, hint at what's to come?
Right. Are these isolated results, or do they signal maybe larger trends for these teams as the MLB season moves forward? Something to keep an eye on, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for digging into these games with us. It was definitely a fun day of baseball to unpack.
My pleasure. Always good to talk baseball.